everybody. This is day 4 of my 90-day BBB&E experiment for MECFS. And I just wanted to report in briefly. First of all, huge celebration, which is that being a sugar and carb addict, I have always, if I've been on the wagon, I have always fallen off it starting at Halloween, including raiding my grandson's stash of candy, including putting fistfuls of mini Snickers and Reese's Cups and Twixes and all that stuff into my mouth during the trick-or-treating time when I'm on the door, and I love that because I just love the kids. But leading up to that, I would just be eating the candy like there was no tomorrow, and my celebratory bag of candy corn, which I love, because guess what? It's pure, unadulterated sugar. I'd always do a bag of candy corn. And, this would go on for a few days ahead of Halloween and a few days after Halloween, and or begin the beginning of the holiday binge season for me with respect to carbs. I don't do that with alcohol anymore. I've been sober for almost 6 years, but I still, up to this holiday season, have done that. And I passed Halloween with flying colors. I was not even remotely drawn to the Halloween candy at all, and that remains. And I am giving absolute credit to my doing no carbs, 0 carbs, close enough, meat-based, and the fact that for the last, 5 weeks or so, even as I was gearing up to cutting out even veggies out of my life, so I was lowering my carbs bit by bit to get to this moment, my numbers, my ketone levels in the blood and my glucose levels in the blood have grown to become, I'm at I tested with my Keto Mojo, and I am at optimal therapeutic nutritional ketosis. I do it, I check it in the afternoon, and from afternoon to afternoon, that has remained steady. So my body is in optimal healing nutritional ketosis. And one of the results of that is my body is not asking me for carbs or sugar. Moreover, my body doesn't even, it's not even on her radar. It's like I pass by that candy, it's out there, it's out there. Even now in the kitchen, it's sitting in a bucket, and I don't even notice it. Whereas last year, I would have been emptying that bucket by the fistfuls and regretting it and still doing it again. So that is number one awesomeness, for which I am extremely grateful. And I'm sure my little body is too, because I'm not feeding her poison anymore, which is, always nice. Then the second thing is, with respect to eating and capacity. So for those of you who are not any CFS warriors, but you're actually healthy compared to us, or you don't have a debilitating, a disabling chronic illness that you're dealing with. We refer to our energy allotment as spoons, and we sometimes refer to ourselves as spoonies, so I'll be using that too. I have been in spoons deficit because I am getting over COVID, and that's been going on for 6 weeks. I had COVID 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago. I was really sick for a week, and then this is kind of the long, slow tail end of it. So I had the spoons to cook on day one, so I made some really, really yummy. Sauteed up some ground beef and with bacon in it, and then fried a bunch of eggs, a mess of eggs, and I had leftover the ground beef mixture. So for those of you who are interested, I use 80-20 pasture raised Angus. That's what I got this time. And I had leftovers for day 2. So I ate the leftovers with 4 fried eggs. And, I have my morning higher and higher fat coffee drink, which really acts as a meal because there's a lot of calories in it, and there's a lot of fat. So that's nutrition, not just like starting with black coffee. Anyways, but yesterday I spent the beginning of the day working. I had some work-related emails to write, to construct and write, which took me, a couple hours. And for those of you who don't know about this illness, one of the core issues is what's called post-exertional malaise, which we call PAM, PEM. And exertion isn't just physical exertion, it's cognitive exertion. And I am a UC Berkeley PhD, and my work is highly, highly cognitive. I do academic editing for public policy think tanks, and that's like doing puzzles, doing really, really hard puzzles to turn those manuscripts into something that lay people and policymakers can read and grasp fast and stay interested in. And then the other side of my business is I'm a ghostwriter, and I have one research-based book that I'm ghostwriting for a California public figure who shall remain nameless, but I love him to pieces, and it's going to be a really important book. But that's research-based, so that's a lot of cognitive stuff. And then the other ghostwriting I do is novels for a company that sells the opportunity to be an author without having written a book, to people who can afford that kind of thing. Anyways, and that's not intellectual. That's not isn't a lot of real exertion for me, because once I get it mapped out and I know who my characters are, it's really more like channeling. I show up at the page and it just comes through. So that's really easy for me. I can do a lot more of that at a time than I can do academic editing right now. But anyway, so this one email that I had to do that I needed to do was getting back to a potential client with a list of someone who had sent me a query with a list of all of the client, like a bunch of the major clients I've worked for, and the work that I did for them, and what I charged, and sort of like how that works, and also how I work, which was great to put together because I can use that now going forward anytime I get a query. But it was highly cognitive work. It required me to like grab things from one place and whatever. And then the other was writing my story, a brief email of writing my story, which I will go into maybe another time. Which had an awesome outcome. I'm so pleased. But so I didn't have, all that to say, I didn't have the spoons to cook. And my beautiful daughter had cleaned up the kitchen for me so that I could cook, but I couldn't cook. Yeah, I know, buddy. So yesterday was more of a liquid day, and I didn't eat any solids because I didn't have the capacity, the physical capacity to go into the kitchen and eat and fix food and then sit and eat. So I had my morning concoction, and then I had late in the afternoon, which I don't get hungry till late in the afternoon. So when I would have been eating meat, I had a Premier Protein, which is whey protein. I mean, it's certainly not on the tippy top, this is a great stuff to put in your body list, but it is meat based. I mean, it's animal based, and it's not too bad. I mean, it's got vitamins and stuff. So I have used that on occasion, and I have some left. So I made a drink with heating some of that up with heavy cream and a big huge chunk of butter. I think that's it. And that's what I ate. That's what I had yesterday. And some chia seed pudding that I had made to help with when I got the disaster pants. I made some chia seed pudding with that same drink, so it's got chia seeds, but it's got animal-based stuff. It's close enough for jazz. Like, that's what I have, a chronic debilitating illness, so I really can't be fussy. I can only be as fussy as I can get, as I have the capacity to be. So that was yesterday for food, and today, and I defrosted a steak so that I could cook that today, but today I'm in worse shape than I was yesterday. I had a really good night's sleep. I had like 2+ hours of deep sleep, which is awesome for somebody my age. But I woke up feeling really, really not up to snuff. And then, I made my morning concoction, and my grandson got up, and then he and I ended up in a really wonderful 2-hour conversation, which I loved spending that time with him. It was just beautiful. But the upshot of that is that was my spoons for the day. So I've got ground beef that needs to be cooked, and I've got a steak that needs to be cooked. And honestly, right now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. So this may be a fasting day, even though I don't want to do longer fasts. I want to eat every day. That's part of my thing. But if I have to fast, that's okay too, because fasting, I'm in nutritional ketosis, and that's going to feed my brain and my nervous system anyway. So that's where I am today. That's day 4. You're going to hear my dog complaining because he got locked in my room. Poor baby. And that's it. I will catch you guys later. Yeah, lots of love. Meet on. Bye.